I
Gotta
say,
say something.
how y'all feel about the boy Fat Joe and shit and the shit he been hollering out?
To what's the name? To
Oh, you
Lil
talking about?
Jamal?
No, you
Oh,
talking
just on
about
the
just him? You know what I mean? Just
Just on the subject period of trying to undermine the fact that, you know what I mean, like, you know, they joined this pretty early on in the inception of it through different aspects of the culture, but that straight music, that straight MCing, DJing and scratching and all that shit that started you know what I mean, that galvanized the whole, all right, we gonna continue to, now we got a reason to keep rocking our little Adidas and our, you know what I mean, our sweatsuits, our Kango caps, because now we meeting up at functions. We doing this shit on the regular now, and it ain't just some disco shit. We building into our own zone. He tried to act like, you know, motherfuckers was tripping for saying that we originated that, like we originated every other music that others later on came and chimed in, and we allowed them to come in. But make no mistake, we originated that shit.
So wait a minute. He made a living, a career off of our culture.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So what is he talking about?
Yeah, and tried to come and say, like, you know, he had a mind state that hip hop was created 50-50, you know, between melanin people and Latinos. And I'm like, look,
Nah.
y'all was the closest to us to catch the vibe.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right,
Whether we was
right.
coming from the Caribbean or whether we was coming from down south with it, like a DJ Premier or whatever the fuck was going on, we was just, you know, that set of melanin people in your area where you was growing up. You knew where that shit was coming
But
from,
you
man.
know what, Rob? I was telling them
know
last
what I mean?
episode, when it push come to shove, they gonna stick together. You know what I mean? If it's me and DJ Too Tough, you know what I mean, we gonna be cool, such and such. But
Right.
soon as if it's a black person and a Latino person, conversation gonna be between the black person and Latino person.
Right.
Then if another Latino person join in, it's still gonna be conversation. But soon as a third one come and it's 3 against 1, they gonna start talking
Right.
and
right.
we X'd out of it.
Right.
Because
Oh,
they
they
gonna
gon-
stick together.
Oh, they
you know
gonna
what I mean?
they gonna do that when it's two of them.
Yeah,
they gonna do that with
when
two.
it's two of them. My thing is, you know,
Ricans been the coach or whatever.
Yeah.
we ain't got no problem with giving y'all props with what y'all did bring to the game. You know what I mean? Or when y'all did, you know, start coming into the culture with us and everything. But y'all motherfuckers wasn't there
nah.
in the beginning.
They were b-boys and
You got a
know what I
couple
mean? They came in with that.
You got a couple
It was a
motherfuckers.
dance.
You got a
they was
couple
the
I mean,
dancers.
they
Yeah.
wrote on walls and
Yeah.
they danced
Right.
and set the third,
Yeah.
but
And
they
some
wasn't scratching and rapping.
No.
Some
They
of them
wasn't
did
doing
music
that.
too, but later on.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, we got thorough Latin producers like the boy Mantronics that was fucking with Just Ice and them
Absolutely.
back in the day. Cold Latin boy. But, you know what I mean? And, you know, we talking about near the inception, but not the inception.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, and for him to say motherfuckers was some broke motherfuckers or some motherfuckers to discount that was standing on business and saying where the shit originated from, I thought that was real greasy. You know what I mean? Like,
he
that
out
was
of
real
pocket for
greasy
that
because
one.
the way you was coming off was clearly disrespectful. Like, you know what I mean? And you let that other side out. Whether you deny that you have it, you let that shit out.
So you think Fat Joe should have just stayed in his lane and just kind of, you know,
I mean, he should have.
because they also were saying that they didn't like how he was using the word nigga so much.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's the way you use a term, and then, like, you know, you get too comfortable and he like, yeah, man, fuck these broke niggas. Or he like, man, I don't care whatever these broke niggas is talking about. Like, what is you talking about, dude?
But and for him, you know what I
like,
mean?
these
Like,
people ain't broke niggas. These people that we talking about is distinguished motherfuckers in the culture. You know what I mean? That without them, you wouldn't have had a chance to even call yourself Fat Joe,
Joe, yeah.
want to rock no Cuban links, want to rock no fucking ropes, or none of that. You know what I'm saying? And the motherfuckers that predominantly made up the DITC crew was what?
Yeah.
Okay, then, so don't, you know what I mean?
He was on
And they
the
showed you
minority
mad
area.
love, so, but don't try to abuse the situation, because now you feel like you in a certain situation, you made a certain amount, you made that shit because we let you make that. You know what I mean? We supported you, allowed you to be a part of the culture, motherfucker, but don't act like you just was so flavor that we had to let you in.
Right. That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
Or like that you put niggas on. Like, come on, man. If it wasn't for pun for real, your career wouldn't even have lasted long as it was.
Yeah,
You wouldn't even
right.
been into the mind frame of, all right, let me let this nigga write for me. Let me let this nigga help me write, half of this record or whatever. You know what I mean? Because you would have never benefited from pun writing your shit.
Right.
You know what I
Pun was
mean?
a whole lot
so
better.
don't try to act like you was just this immovable hip hop force that had so much creative power that you just had to exist in the game. Nah. You know what I mean?
Now,
you maneuver.
since you on talking about Fat Joe, I mean, for those that don't know, this is Robert EST Waller, Mr. Waller, and you pretty much wrote the hook for Lean Back. You know what I mean?
Man, originally we was in the studio, man, before Wayne got involved in any of that, you know what I mean? And that shit came together, man.
I mean, was it any kind of animosity between y'all, or
Nah.
or you just don't like the way he was moving and how he was talking about as far as the culture?
Nah, yeah, that's it. That's
Okay,
it, man.
okay.
That just threw me aback. Just that particular issue and how he went about it. You know what I mean? Like I don't even have, I'm not like involved to the point where I'm like, yeah, and Lord Jamar served them and whoop wah whip, because a lot of people spoke their opinion on that. You know what I mean? But I just feel like, man, call a spade, man.
But didn't he kind of backtrack on it though? Didn't he try to?
I mean, you know what? I didn't pay attention to it so much after things started going viral. But when I caught wind of it, I just was like, this don't strike me as something that you should have even said, and you definitely shouldn't have said it like that. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he backtracked on it because he realized the way it came across, like what you saying.
I think
If he had to do it over, I think he would do it. He would word it different.
I think he realized the weight of it, not that he felt that he was wrong. You know what I
Right,
mean?
the
I
impact.
think once that shit started
Feeling that pressure.
tarnishing his brand a little bit, or people started feeling like I ain't fucking with Fat Joe no more, or cancel Fat Joe.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then he started realizing, oh, okay, I'm not so big that I could say some shit and
Gets
people
out of
just
pocket.
gonna let it ride.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, he
like,
lost some
like,
endorsements for that. BET ain't messing with him.
Yeah.
hey, listen,
Yeah.
case in point.
BET,
Case in point.
he used to host the BET
Right.
Hip Hop Awards.
He was about to host the
they
Hip Hop
cut him.
BET Awards,
They cut him.
which come with him keeping himself relevant and keeping himself at the focal point of certain happenings in the culture, which would have kept him doing what he's supposed to do,
Right.
eating, getting your little nice gift bags and how they do it, because all of them show love at those little events. But now, if you go, you're gonna be in the stands, and people gonna be looking at you funny, you and your wife. Shout out to your wife, because she's a thorough lady. No disrespect to her, but it's like, you stepped in shit, my man, and you shouldn't have did that. All because you don't feel comfortable with us creating that? We also created country too, that they trying to stop Beyonce from getting played on the radio station, good, bad, or indifferent, whether it's the best country stuff that ever was, or it's just Beyonce doing country. She should be allowed to do it because her people invented the art form. You know what I mean? So, they try to downplay that and just skip by that whole big truth, but y'all run to the radio stations and, secretly asking for her to be taken off of classical, quote unquote, country radio stations is bizarre to me.
That's silly.
You know what I mean? Because we don't gang up on y'all and say, well, take Post Malone off of R&B stations, or Post Malone off of rap stations, or any artist like that happens to be good. If you're good, then we're gonna give you the respect of learning the culture or learning the nuances that good the way that you doing what you're doing. As long as you keep your mouth clean and you keep your actions respectful to the culture. We don't have no problem, because we want the same thing when we start to do other things that is considered different for us to do, even though, like I said, we created all musics, but just say a person that started rapping, now they want to start doing rock, or they want to start doing like EDM/rock, or something with a dope beat, but it's going a different way. First thing people gonna say, well, oh, why he doing that, or why he trying to do that form of music? We created it all. So to try to deny us or put a cap on anything we do, it comes from a point of miseducation, and it's also prejudice.